welcome to another episode of the Quiver Podcast. Tonight, I am joined by Vic and Brian. Maghay naman kayo, Vic, Brian.
Everyone.
Yun. Okay.
Pagaling everybody.
Uh,
I'm with,
I,
meron ako sipon ngayon, so papagaling lahat. Sige.
okay, I just want to say that it's 10:35 in the evening right now, and we are forcing to record this because somebody said na inaabangan niya kami nung Sabado.
Away ba to?
Ah,
Away? Inaabangan ka.
hindi,
Away
hindi,
na away.
hindi naman,
Away na sa isip ko. Away ba to? Away.
hindi naman away. Inaabangan niya daw yung podcast
Ah,
natin.
Kala ko,
Eh,
away.
Thank you, thank you.
thank you. Hindi, sorry. Just wanted to say, di kami naka-quorum nun eh. So, tonight, medyo pinilit namin mag-quorum for you. For you and for everybody who
Sana
is
mag-enjoy ka.
list. So, and it's a good time to be quorum, like we DLSU beat UST in four sets. What a performance by the Green Archers, especially in the third and the fourth set. Now, before we get into the game, first set, tinambakan ng Lasal yung UST. In the second set, it was a little bit closer, but UST won. So, in many ways, we can say that the game really started in the third set. And sige, let's go straight into that. We were down 19 to 12. 20 to 12
20
pa
pa.
nga.
Yeah,
20 to 12 pa nga at one
That's
point.
the largest, 20 to 12.
Okay, what happened there? Maybe Vic and Brian, you want to talk about it. Like, what made the lead grow so big?
Okay, following it, kasi, di ba, tanghali to eh. So, nag-stream ako while at work. Nakakakan siya. Maganda yung net defense, which came alive again at the right time because two quick blocks. I think prior to that, wala pang block eh. Kung meron man, isa lang. Because we finished it with 3 blocks. We finished the set with 3 blocks. So, yun, blocking came alive at the right time and then service aces then. Suddenly, UST had struggled to receive. And then, when Angel got her touches then, on the attack, whether back row or pag nasa harap na siya, that's what ultimately got us over the line. But of course, not without some help. UST were also making some mistakes. Aside from the receptions nga, that I mentioned, even yung attacks nila sometimes go over or walang ano, diba? So, and the other factors as well. So, ano siya, combination of us putting pressure on UST. That's why it's either we score well sa blocks kasi nga basta yung atake nila. Dahil yung atake nila yung naninigurado eh, di yung mahirap din kasi sumugal sa off the blocker. Like that is a skill. Like, yung check ball sa volleyball, not everyone can do that well. So pagka gusto mo talaga siguraduhin, matakihin mo yung inside. And I guess we have to credit the blocking there for good reads. And then yung reception din siguro kasi throughout that struggle, when we led late mid second set until yung mid third set where we looked struggled and USD had us in a corner at that point. Parang walang receiver, but then after that it stabilized. So I guess yun yung control factors ng Lasal. That's why we got to reverse that set once again. Grabe.
Uh,
Yung
yeah,
comeback.
what a performance. And I also want to credit myself because when I turned on my Pilipinas Live app, we were down 20 to 12. And that was the time na nag-grad tayo. So I want to credit myself for turning on my Pilipinas Live and being the lucky charm of the ladies bikers. Sakto eh. That's the no, of course it's a work day, so there's a meeting, but there are meetings. But the set wasn't over, right? Like UST even went up 23 to 21. And Vic, we were talking about this a little bit during the pre-pod. Maybe you want to talk about that and the events that led up to it to eventually us winning 25 to 23.
Naging crucial discussion kasi even online, especially kay ano kay Varsitarian. Naging yung best friend ni Coach Yani. Ano siya naging talking point yung maling process ng pag-challenge. Kasi I think we all learned something today na ang current rule ngayon sa UAAP is that dapat matapos ang rally before you can challenge. I think in the PVL kasi allowed siya na while the rally is ongoing, you can place your challenge. I think last year, pinag-usapan din natin to sa pre-prod, last year, you have to challenge within 8 seconds. So I think the coaching staff of UST medyo na carried away siguro sila, and then they put up a challenge kahit hindi pa tapos yung rally, which awarded us an easy point. So I think there are two points of discussion on that one. Kasi parang sinasabi is that hindi, crucial yan eh. Kung wala yon, baka nanalo pa USC sa set. And sa akin, there's another school of thought here na tingin ko hindi siya factor. Kasi after that wrong process of challenging a call, nakalamang pa UST ng 23-21 eh. So, it means they are still in the best position to win the match. Kaso ang problem, service error sila, and I think we scored off a block. Tama ba, Bri? Yung i-ano mo ako dito, try to help me out. Nag-service error, nag-block ba, and then after that, I forgot our
Service
24
ace.
point.
Service ace yun.
Tama, ace, and then yung spectacular finish ni Angel kasi I think we all can agree to that kasi ang layo ng pasa ni Eshana eh. So ako, to be honest, akala ko hindi I thought baka mistimed or baka ma-net or baka ma-out or baka ma-receive, but Angel just showed her prowess on that hit to finish the third set. But overall, parang yun nga, there are two schools of thought. Pwede mo sabihin crucial, but I think pwede mo rin sabihin na hindi siya ganon ka-crucial since UST led by 2 points, but they hurt themselves by next play no service error nila eh, which got naging dikit ulit siya ng 23-22, and we never look back from there.
I just want to say though that I know everyone is talking about the final Angel ball that won us the set, but I personally thought that the most impressive point in the set was that service ace, that retreta hit na hindi na-control ni Pepito.
Yes.
And
yeah.
I thought that was a lot, for me, that was a lot more
Super siya
crucial.
nag-alangan, no? Ako yun ang take ko, nung pinanood ko yung highlights, parang hindi ko alam eh, kasi sa highlights, pag tinignan mo siya, or sa game, if you watch the game, parang hindi naman siya yung alanganin na, ewan ko, baka sa perspective natin ng TV, baka sa actual sa Araneta, sa mga nakanood ng live, baka iba yung perspective nila doon. Kasi parang sa akin, parang hindi siya dapat nag-alangan. Ako yun yung, kaya medyo siya, quite surprising for a veteran libero to make that crucial mistake. So yan, tama. Actually, maganda yan. Parang, rather than considering that challenge as the crucial one, I think pwede natin i-ano dito na yes, rin yung crucial din yung pag-aalangan ni Det to receive yung service ni Shane.
Yeah, I want to talk about that for a while because in my point of view, even when rewatching it, I thought it was going out.
Okay.
Akala ko talaga palabas siya eh. So, I would imagine na Pepito also thought it was going out.
Yeah.
And ang galing sabi ng commentator, ng isang commentator na it looped downward eh. So, siguro there was a strong backspin, I suppose is the right term for that, na nag-down siya and kaya nag-alangan siya. And that's great technique from Reterta, of course, to be able to do that, right?
Ay, timing. Perfect timing.
Oo, perfect timing to get that done. And then of course, that final Angel kill was actually just incredible. It's a mix of, I think, what can you guys say about this? At that point kasi nung nag 24-23, I just felt that the confidence was just completely on our side already. I was so confident that I turned off Pilipinas Live after we won set 3. And when I had to do something at the office, But when I turned it on again, wala, lamang na tayo eh.
Yeah,
What
pati
can you
yan yan.
guys... Oh.
But
Talk about the confidence. Talk about the confidence of the green of
I
the
think
Lady
ano siya eh,
Spiders.
mostly common na if you lose a tough set, I think binanggit ko to sa GC kanina eh. It's either UST will fold or they will fight. Kasi lang naman yun eh. Parang nangyari sa Adamson, 'di ba? It was a tough loss for them set 3 and then they fought back set 4, laban ulit, but still they weren't able to win that fourth set kasi kung ano yung nangyari sa atin ng set 3 today, that happened set 4 last weekend, 'di ba? Sa atin naman. So, yun yung ano ko doon. Parang hindi ako nagulat sa nangyari sa UST nung fourth set na parang flat na. Parang they're done. Nung ano si Brian nag-update ng score sa atin kanina. Nung sinabi niya nung nag-update to ng 8-1, sabi ko, wala na to, sabi ko, wala na, sabi ko. Score na lang inaantay natin dito nung nag 8-1 kayo na, sabi ko wala na, score na lang to. Ano na to?
Tapos
Emotionally
69 yung sumunod. 69 na din yung sumunod. Parang,
I think I felt that UST was emotionally spent. I think if we can recall, may timeout si Coach Shaq kanina nung fourth set. Parang yung third set, wala na kayong magagawa dyan. Di nyo na mababalik yan. So, all you have to do is just focus on this set. Kaso, Coach Shaq was right, but unfortunately, his players weren't able to respond with the way that yung tama naman yung messaging niya, but it's just that hindi na siya tumatagos sa players niya kanina.
Brian, I wanted to ask you about this one. Since you were the one updating our group chat earlier, I was able to turn it on when we scored our 16th point already. So in general, I kind of know what happens afterwards. But my question to you is, I know this might be looking a little way forward, but how big is LaSalle winning that third set in what we think is the overall story of the season? Can you imagine a world where UST won the third set and they would have probably inflicted our first toss given the confidence? But it's the opposite. We came back, we had all this confidence and we completely buried them in the fourth set. Talk about how important confidence is in a game of volleyball, siguro. Especially in the context of this game.
yeah, kasi LaSalle UST, whether it happens on a weekend or Wednesday, playoff atmosphere, I think the fans did not disappoint there. So while the game was unfolding and LaSalle was backed up in a corner against this UST team, lalo na sila yung tipong nag-end ng streaks natin this team. So for them to step up and just regain that composure, which Coach Remelo reminded in one of his timeouts, that's big kasi they're responding to challenges now. I think a lot of the games this season naman challenging for LaSalle, but of course, in the second round, challenges would be more difficult. Na babasa na din siguro ng mga teams how they rotate or how, for example, how nag-sets up her teammates, kung middles ba or wings yung pupuntahan niya. Kasi nung una, nabanggit ko naman nung first few episodes natin this season this LaSalle team is relatively unscouted as an ensemble together kasi, di ba, nagtago tayo ng preseason but obviously now, 8 to 9 games in, mas masusubukan ka na kasi there's a lot of evidence now for teams to work with. Alam na nila, okay, sige, pag si Retarta, ganito gagawin. Pag si Lapod, ganito. Angel, ganito. But that's referring to Lunad. So, every time na malalagay sila sa situation, the coaches put them in the best possible way to respond. And yun, we're lucky that despite the pressure, hindi bibihira. Hindi ko sasabihin never. Kasi may times na nag-ramp up pa din yung errors natin. Pero bibihira na nag-avalanche siya compared in the past. In the past, may mga times in ganyang sets, we'll just discombobulate. Meron isang set, I think nung Adamson second set nung weekend, we kind of saw that na parang medyo everything that went wrong for Lasal did.
Yeah.
But
At
it's so rare now na madali mo siyang ma-recall. Unlike before na it happens every now and then. Now it's positive to see that this Lasal team isn't really crumbling under pressure, and it's not saying na champion na tayo at this moment in time. There's still 5+ games to go for that to be figured out. But the signs are looking good, and the test will be tougher, and hopefully the girls will be equal to that toughness, if not more.
I wanted to. So in the last episode, Brian and I had a little bit of a fun, I would say, fun debate on um, errors. Yung hypothesis namin is parang free throw lang yan. If everybody is making errors, and it seems like everybody is making errors, in the same way na the UAP, there's no parang the highest free throw shooting team yata is 75%. That's not even NBA level free throw shooting, or 78%, right? Is it the same for the errors? Like, because one of the things everyone says is a daming errors, kung walang errors, panalo na tayo. Um, Here at Quiver, we're probably thinking na, no, it's part and parcel of the game, and how do we manage that? Vic, you brought up a good point earlier na medyo tabla lang tayo sa errors eh. And what do you think is the difference talaga in terms for Lasal to win this game? Considering na medyo tabla tayo sa errors ha. I'm gonna open the stat sheet to prove that, but that's what we were talking about earlier.
yun nga kasi if you are ang mangyayari lang naman diyan kasi if is for example yun nagtabling errors, we have to look at the other aspects of the game kasi for example for this match I think yung service aces went to UST, but the problem was for example dun sa amount of reception efficiency were way higher than UST, which I think dun nangyayari yung errors nila. That's why dun nag-pile up din yung errors ni UST, and ang layo ng gap sa attacks, and then we also won net defense. So I think overall ang trademark naman talaga natin is that, I mean, kahit ang daming errors ang trademark natin all our championship seasons was really our net defense kahit way back. Once our blocking is working, para siyang nightmare press dati nung 90s, na once we get our blocking going, parang I don't wanna say takot, but more of nagdadalawang isip na yung mga kalaban natin once our blocking clicks, kasi parang, oh, what do we do now? How do we attack this? Parang all of a sudden nagbabago sila I mean, that's why I compared it sa nightmare press, kasi teams prepare for it in practice, but pagdating ng actual game they couldn't solve it. It's the same thing with our blocking. Our opponents prepare for it. They know that it will come. They know that it's one of our potent weapons, but come match day, we still beat them with our blocking. So yun siya So parang sa akin yun yung natin once, kasi for example, that fourth set with Adamson nung weekend, once our blocking clicked, it was hindi sa pagyayabang, it was all over for Adamson. Once our blocking clicked nung fourth set, parang you could see it in Adamson's body language, wala na parang okay, so how do we beat Lasal now? Parang ganun siya and it's really easier said than done answering that question. So ako yun yung ko, parang if all else fails, I think ang crucial talaga sa atin always will be our blocking. If we do well sa net defense, it's a huge factor. Sige, Brian.
Yeah. Before we go to Brian, just wanna talk about the stats very quickly. Yeah. So in terms of blocking, we got 10 points out of blocking. They got 4 points out of blocking. In terms, looks like mali ako ha. In terms of errors, Lasal had 15, UST had 33. So almost double. And if you look at the errors, parang yung pinakamarami talaga ng UST was the fourth set. Which yun nga,
yun
we
naman
talked
talaga
about na baka shot na nga talaga yung confidence nila. Oh, Brian, go on.
Yeah, just to layer a bit more on that, yung dun sa 33 errors ng USD, 28 came from apparently attacking errors. So, not a lot of service errors. But the 28, you would assume attacking errors. Malaki yun kasi, yes, they beat us in the attacks eh. Parang 49-44 is what the stats are telling us. So, kind of similar to how the Adamson match we had nung nung Saturday, sorry. Sa nung weekend. Ano, diba? Saturday yun, sorry, not Sunday. Na tipong our opponents tend to produce and then parang tayo, dahil may blocking tayo, we are okay with that. We haven't seen a lot of attacks yet. Merong isang set dito, 9-13 ba? Yung scoring natin sa 9-16 pala, sorry. 9-16. So talo tayo sa USD sa attacks. Pero parang kinompensate nila din sa errors. Ibig sabihin, parang hinahayaan natin sila. Sige, try to go for the kill. But your efficiency will let you down eventually. And yun nga, that's where also our blocks will help us. Kasi if we have that edge, kahit if pagka may time na efficient dapat yung attack nila, but you have that defense, then that will help you gain the edge. Kasi sabi nga ni Vic, magpapantayan pag yung mga categories. So you have to know your advantage and maximize that advantage.
Yeah, you bring up a good point there too, Brian, right? Like, it's, I think, and just to sum up this entire discussion, right? Perhaps a big reason also why USD made all of these errors, especially on the attacking errors, is precisely because of the threat LaSalle poses on the block.
Yep.
So,
nag-a-adjust talaga sila kasi.
Oo. All right. UST LaSalle has been giving the Quiver podcast headaches for years, and I'm not gonna pull up another Wikipedia article to check when was the last time we did a double on UST. But they've always been a very tough opponent to play against, and we respect them so much that coming to this game, I was worried for so many reasons coming to this game. I was worried that it was a 1 o'clock game. I was worried it was a Wednesday game. I was worried that it was a game against UST. Alam mo yun? But ultimately, the Lady Spikers prevailed. Fantastic performance. We're very proud of them. And now all eyes on to the next game, which is against UP on Sunday. And ito yung, Brian, can you explain this weird schedule on Sunday?
Yeah, so kung weird na yung 1 a.m. that apparently started 1 a.m., 1 p.m. started 2 p.m.
Weird talaga yung 1 a.m.
Oo, yun yung oras kay Kiko, if ever he's watching. Yeah, so yung weird yung first game ng midweek against USD of all teams. Mas weird yung weekend na UP, tapos 11 a.m. kung mag-3 sets yung men's before kasi LaSalle UP and the men's can finish long. It can be extended sets. I can see that happening. So tricky times. If you're planning to watch that in person sa QBAV siya, separate tickets. So if you want to see the girls and the boys in action, a reminder yun. It's that banana skin kind of game for us if the Lady Spikers don't wake up on the right side of the bed kasi nga, I think it's the earliest they will play this season, no doubt. And then QPAV, also, I think their first game sa QPAV this season, maybe their only game then kasi the other ones sa Phil Oil, FEU yun. So another quirky arrangement there, but not gonna talk much about that. And UP is a team na medyo nagulat din tayo na kind of made it look easy against them in the first round. UP, of course, we knew coming into that game had the talented roster. Also had a good coach with them. But the problem is that maybe the cohesion wasn't there or the familiarity wasn't there yet. And I know they lost Cassie Dongallo to injury, but it's not a simplification of, kaya na dapat natin because of our records and because they lost their ace player. Minsan yun yung mga delikadong kalaban when teams are nothing to lose, and especially where they are in the standings, they're going to push for a Final Four spot. you don't want to let your guard down. And for the Lady Spikers, I guess these sets against Adamson and USD would serve as enough wake-up calls for them to gain never lose their focus. Not gain their focus, never lose their focus. Kasi alam nila kung ano pwede mangyari once they lose their focus. I don't need them to touch too much on that second set, so I'll take an opportunity now. We were up 15-12 in that second set, and then UST scored 4 quick points to go 1 point ahead entering the second technical timeout. Then after that, parang they just blitzed to a 9-1 finisher. So parang isipin mo 13-1 yun, something like that. Medyo hindi na lang siya napapansin because of the calamity that happened to them in the third set. So yeah, I'm wary of these moments. I mean, the Lady Spikers sometimes put themselves in difficult positions. We also saw that against Adamson when everything went right for Adamson and tayo kahit receive di natin magawa. So if UP could squeeze that window ng Lady Spikers where they don't look like themselves, then yeah, it could be a long game. But if the Lady Spikers are like what the commentators are saying, na well-oiled machine, yeah, it's just a matter of execution and how many sets. We don't want to sound too arrogant, but that's really how it could look if LaSalle is 100% locked in.
Ako naman, ang take ko, it's a trap game, pero given the side stories between Coach Ramil and Coach Fabio, parang I think will be dito. Medyo tayo dito. It's a game wherein siya, medyo highly focused tayo tingin ko. Kasi 'di ba, nung first round nga show no mercy na nga nung first round eh. So given the side story between the two coaches, I think tayo dito. Medyo focused, sharp. That's how I expect us to come out on Sunday.
Yeah, focused and sharp is how we should be coming out next Sunday, especially so that we don't avoid an upset by the UP fighting by
Especially
UP.
kay Coach Fabio. Kaya tingin ko hindi papayag si Coach Ramil na.
Oo. And yun nga, it's at 11 o'clock. So it's a weird time. But you know what's on a weird time? Ibarra watches.
Yan.
So this episode of the
Lahat
Quiver
tayo may
Podcast.
timing na kanina so dun tayo pupunta.
Yeah. So this episode of the Quiver Podcast is brought to you by Ibarra Watches, proudly Filipino and proudly LaSalle. Every timepiece you buy supports the DLSAA Athletic Scholarship Fund, helping the next generation of green archers chase their dreams, and lady spikers also, and the lady archers chase their dreams. So it's elegant, timeless, and rooted in animo. That's Ibarra. So when the clock strikes 11, malamang hindi pa tapos yung first game. So mga 11:30.
Kasi men's natin maglalaro nun eh.
Yeah, men's muna. Unfortunately, our men's team lost earlier today against UST straight sets. And
time to start
what are we down? Oh yeah, we now it's time to start a new streak as well. But it is what it is. So hopefully, there's a lot left in the tank, and the season is still far. It's still long. There's a few more games.
May
remaining.
interesting nugget lang ako sa men's standings.
Sige.
Nakita lang din siya online. Parang nakaano siya eh. 8-1-7-2-6-3-5-4-4-5-3-6-2-7-1-8.
Yung
That's how it looks right now. Magugulo na yan on Saturday kasi may maglalaro na ulit. But for
maganda siya
now,
tignan
madali siya
ngayon.
tandaan.
Maganda siya tignan.
For those who like
Kasi
numbers
opposite.
and yung sequencing. So tayo yung nasa 4-5. So ang maganda dyan, daan mo kung ilan yung talo mo, yun yung place mo sa ngayon. And UP is in 3-6. So it's an interesting battle then on Sunday for the men's. So kung gusto nyo mag-breakfast sa UST, sakto, misa, pwede na mag-misa before the game and then go to the game, spend your lunch there.
Pwede.
Unfortunately for us, hindi. Kasi I think may mga kanya-kanya na kaming lakad on Sunday. But si Willie, who knows? If you see Willie there, say hi, he does not fly.
Yeah, like mahilig naman si Willie sa mga sa mga I'm gonna stop talking right now. Sorry. Hindi ata pwede pag-usapan dito sa podcast natin to. Ano kung ano.
Ito na lang isisingit ko, panakiputas dyan. Because there was also another game earlier against UST sa baseball. We won 10-0. And
Mercy rule.
that game sealed LaSalle's Final Four spot. So if a win against Adamson on Sunday, sure na top 2 na. So that's something to keep an eye out for LaSalle Sports.
Yep.
That's right. And si Willie, mahilig na gumamit ng mercy rule, di ba?
Oh.
So, yan.
Ano yan si Willie? Cobra Kai yan eh. Cobra Kai. Strike fast.
I,
Show no mercy.
showing no mercy si Willie Wilwaiko. No, but that is why he is a certified 501st stormtrooper. You know, the stormtroopers don't show any mercy, and he does it for charity. So and this is legit ha. He really does this for charity, guys.
Yep.
So inaasar na
Nagiging
naman natin siya.
stormtrooper po yan si Willie pagka for a charitable cause. Yeah.
Oo. So, totoo naman to. Alright, so that's it for our episode for today. Quick news, I think, on the Green Archers, on the end of the Green Archers.
Dami actually, madami.
Dami. Sige, Vic, rundown nga. Ano man nangyari sa Green Archers? Dami natin bago
Not
bigla.
one, not two.
Not three, but four. I think let's start kay Bondaha, no? Let's start with Bondaha, the news kanina. But we all hope that he's now 100%, but we do trust Coach Migs and Coach Jello to do the trick kay Bon para mas ma-condition pa. Because I think he came from an ACL injury which prompted him not to play itong final season niya dapat kasi kumbaga what if he played parang ano rin yan siya, what if scenario din yan si Bon if he played for Zobel this U19 season. Hindi natin alam kung hanggang saan pa umabot ang Zobel, which yun nga nakaabot sila ng Final Four post Kiefer Alas era, and it's a good thing. But yun nga Bondaha will now join us in the seniors ranks. And then there's also Jason Siebel. All credits kay Coach Don of the Phenom Sports Management. So he'll be one and done guard. I think saktong pangpalit with the sudden not sudden, but with the departure ni Kian, 'di ba? So we really needed another veteran presence at the backcourt, and I think Jason may be the answer for that. Sakto lang din talaga na we need him to help out Jacob sa backcourt natin. And then we also have, I think, Irish Kokia. And there's another one. I just forgot the name. Baka matulungan niyo ako. Those two guys will come in. I think lahat sila will be tested. Well, tested in terms of the team will try and look and see if they will fit. No, parang yun yung ano dito. With our upcoming tournament this weekend, meron tayong sasalihan na liga tong men's basketball team natin. So that's where
si Marco Mayuga.
Yun, Marco Mayuga. Thank you, Bri. So those are I think Marco Mayuga is the one from out of high school, straight out of high school, because I think Irish is a college transferee from Simon Fraser University. So yun, that's why I think Irish still needs to take 1 year residency before he will suit up for season 90. No, so but I think everything will depend on how they will gel and blend with the team dito sa ano natin. Sorry. With our pre-season tournament this weekend. So yan yung mga news.
Kala ko, Vic, makakuha natin si Cameron at si Caden Buso eh.
Sayang. Pwede na si AJ Daibansa, pwede rin. Tanggal na sila sa March Madness eh.
Actually, pwede. And there, alam mo, North Carolina just, di ba, they fired the coach?
Yeah,
Oo.
Hubert Davis will not be coming back uh, as
Yeah.
uh, as a UNC fan. So medyo when Caleb Wilson went down and out for the season, medyo my hopes were dashed, and hindi ako nagulat na upset sila ng VCU first round. Hindi ako nagulat doon,
Na,
to be honest, kasi parang they the Tar Heels really look a different, ano sila, night and day when Caleb Wilson was still there and when he went out with an injury. So medyo malayo na yung itsura talaga ng team.
I just want to see na buti na lang Ateneo has a long-term contract for Tab, and we won't have to deal with an NCAA coach coming to the UAAP. So that's all I wanted to say. Okay, so that's it for this episode of the Quiver Podcast. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our pages, and we'll do our best to provide on time la solid content for
Yun, time na!
for
Last nugget, Gio, nahabol ko lang. Yung
go.
last elimination round double natin against USD in women's volleyball. Season 8. Yeah.
When?
Season 80.
Kala ko 8 eh. Sabi ko,
Hindi naman. Not that far
Season
ago.
8. Yun, layo na rin pala, no? 8 years ago.
That's 8
Yes.
years ago.
Pero kasi medyo
Yes.
tight talaga. Medyo neck and neck tayo lagi with UST every season that we face them. Especially under kay Coach Kung Fu. Medyo ano
Yeah.
tayo dyan. Medyo ano talaga.
Ay,
Hira.
nabanggit mo si Coach Kung Fu, naalala ko na din. Congratulate na din natin half the job done. CSB.
Yeah.
Coming
they're,
back to the finals.
in the finals, they beat Perps.
So, Bedo or Latran. Mamimili na lang sila kung Bedo or Latran.
Yeah.
I mean, di sila mamimili. More of mag-aabang sila
They'll have
kung
to wait.
Bedo.
Yep. And I think that's kung sino makakalaban ng Benilde and Root on their target of winning their 5th straight title. Kumbaga, they're on their Drive for 5 campaign this season for the CSB women's volleyball team. So, all the best of luck sa finals.
All right. So thank you for listening to our episode of the Quiver Podcast. And thank you everyone. Animo.
Lasal!